I'm Kenneth, a relationship coach and a psychotherapist. Every relationship is different, and every breakup is different. Work with me, and you'll get professional help on your situation. Just click on the link in the description below, or go to my website, askcraig.net. Hi there, I'm Coach Kenneth, and in today's video, I'm going to be talking about she says he's just a friend. Well, if you've ever been in a relationship and had suspicious feelings about your partner, you may have confronted them. You may have said, "What's going on here? Something doesn't feel right." And many times, that person will tell you they're just a friend. And the hard part is distinguishing whether it's true and they are just a friend, or there's something going on there and there's more to it. It can be really, really challenging to figure out what's going on in these situations. And I've been there before, so I know how frustrating it can be. Because when you, in your gut, feel something's wrong, it triggers your anxiety. And then you start to act unnatural. You start to do things and behave in ways that are insecure. Now, it's often directly correlated to how your ex or that partner had been treating you. And that triggering you makes the situation seem to spiral out of control. Because if you feel like somebody is interested in your partner more than just friendship, and that alarm is going off, you're going to start to want to do things like snoop their phone, pay extra closer to their behavior. You'll start to get emotional and lose emotional self-control because you're so upset because your feelings of abandonment are just being triggered and you're feeling this internal state of primal panic. So it's really difficult to know whether they are just being friends or if there's something going on behind your back. And a lot of times you can want to demand answers, but if you do, it often leads the situation to become worse. And what often happens is if you get so insecure about that person, it makes your partner almost start to feel like, well, maybe I should look at dating this person. This person, my current boyfriend or girlfriend, is constantly blaming me and accusing me. So eventually, they start to bond with that other person. So staying calm in these situations is not easy to do, and I know because I've been there in the past, but you have to do it. If you don't, you're gonna wind up making the situation a lot worse than it may or may not be. So I've got a good email that's gonna look at one of these situations, and this is from a guy that's in his early 20s, and in fact the couple's in their early 20s, and they were together for about 1.5 years. Now, he was telling me a little bit about her family life. Apparently, her family is very wealthy, but they have a lot of legal issues where certain family members have been in prison. So, that goes to tell you that maybe their businesses are not on the up and up, right? He goes on to say, "My girlfriend broke up with me after I saw her search history. She was searching something about loving a boyfriend and someone else." So, in his particular situation, he is getting a major red flag right off the bat. Because sometimes your ex will say, oh, they're just a friend and they're constantly being texted by this person who may or may not be a friend. But in his situation, he sees a search history. So for him, it's like, whoa, wait, what's going on here? You're in love with me and someone else? That already tells you that this someone else is a romantic feeling that she's having. And she's probably been hiding it from you, right? She said she was going to break up with me, and a week or so later, but this made her do it then. She claimed that she no longer loved me anymore in the same way that she used to. I was heartbroken. I cried, I begged, I just couldn't understand, because the same day she fell asleep, cuddled into my chest, and we were having fun together, just doing couple stuff. She rang me 5 times telling me she missed me and my voice a week after the breakup, but my dog passed away, so I was cold to her. She hasn't really talked about relationship problems other than a few weeks before she dumped me and she went out with some friends for the first time in months. A guy flirted with her and she claimed after the breakup that she felt attracted to that guy. So that means she knew she didn't love me anymore. Okay. One thing that everybody should always keep in mind is that you're going to be in a relationship with people and you're going to find that you're still attracted to other people and that you have romantic feelings for other people. But that doesn't mean you should abandon your relationship and that commitment to go explore that. And I think a lot of people become very selfish in how they feel, and this new person feels like a drug, so they just walk away from the person they were with to go feel something better. I personally don't like that. In my opinion, it's immature and it's selfish, and if you live like that, how are you ever going to really have any commitment, any real loving relationship? You're always going to be attracted to other people. I mean, that's just the way we're wired. And you don't want to walk away from somebody just because you're attracted to somebody new. That often leads to choosing a bad person, a bad partner, and then you realize, uh-oh, a couple months later, this new person that made you feel so good was nothing really but a mirage. And it happens all the time. And I see it in relationships all the time. So for those of you that are working on personal growth and committing to it, think about this and understand that even though if you get back with your ex or you start dating other people, you're going to be attracted to other people. It doesn't mean you should walk away. You should act like an adult, really consider what's going on here, and try and repair things with your partner before you just up and walk out, right? But a lot of people just jump into relationships and jump out of relationships, and it says a lot about their ability to attach to other people. So I suspect that, and this is just me because I did in email coaching and I just read this one, that this woman has an avoidant attachment style. Oftentimes when I do my emails, I haven't read it, or I read it weeks before and I've just put it aside, but I happen to just done this one, so I know off the top of my head, uh-oh, this girl sounds like an avoidant to me. So let me go on here. So, she wasn't telling him about any problems in the relationship, which is key, right? You're with a partner, they don't communicate with you. What does that tell you? Well, why aren't they communicating? Somebody that has a more secure attachment is going to be able to verbally express their needs and their frustrations with you and try and handle it like an adult, right? Whereas somebody that is more anxious or avoidant, they're more likely to not deal with things because they weren't able to deal with their parents didn't make them feel safe, or they became avoidant and just brushed everything under the rug because they weren't emotionally equipped or taught how to deal with that in their early childhood. So, let me go on. He said maybe she felt rejected when I stayed out partying sometimes. I'm sure it could be part of the problem, but did she express it to you? She was on antidepressants for a few weeks prior to the breakup and would often tell me and talk to me just to hear my voice. She would tell me she loved me when she was having her panic attacks, but also says that I'm too nice and she doesn't deserve me. Okay, so there's a lot going on there. She's having panic attacks, which tells me something much deeper is going on there. Massive amounts of anxiety. But also, she says you're too nice and that she doesn't deserve you. Why is she saying that? Well, I suspect it's because she's feeling guilty, right? You're treating her too nice. Well, why would you not want to be treated nicely? Sometimes it's because you know you haven't been very nice to your partner, and you know something that they don't know, right? You're mistreating them. Maybe you're doing something shady, and they don't know it, and they're still treating you nice, so you feel guilty. I was on the same antidepressants at the start of the relationship, and I didn't want her to feel the pain that I did back then. Okay, so you were trying to be supportive. That's great. I knew another guy was talking to her a few weeks before the breakup, who she claimed was just a friend. Here's what I was explaining earlier. Your partner is telling you they're just a friend. Your gut is telling you, hold on here, this doesn't feel right. After meeting her 5 weeks after the breakup, she told me in the aftermath that she slept with him. Wow, that sounds like a very nice friendship, doesn't it? Doesn't seem like friendship to me. It's not strictly platonic, is it? Seemingly infatuated with him, but he is not too into her. See, this is what I tell you guys all the time. She leaves this guy for somebody else, and that guy doesn't even care about her. And you can't understand it because you're like, I would do anything for this person. I would do literally anything that I could possibly do to get them back. And this new person doesn't even care about them. So a lot of times, they come back. She started using Tinder again a few weeks ago, and I believe she's now in somewhat of a rebound relationship with someone from her old school. He says that he looked at their profile. I know it's bad, but I'm desperate. It looks like he's fresh out of a relationship too. And don't be desperate, okay? I know it's challenging, but you don't want to be chasing after somebody who's acting like this, right? When we met 5 weeks after, I was following a tactic from a breakup guide, I won't say whose, and we were chatting, having fun, we're out shopping for clothes. I would not have recommended going shopping for clothes. I don't know if that was in that guide or not. Then she suggested we go for drinks. From that point, she acted like a bitch. What? What happened here? Like, there's a massive gap where you're out having a good time, and then all of a sudden she's completely changed? I'm not understanding what missing information is not there, but there's something not there. She was talking about guys she slept with and telling me about the guy that was talking to her before we broke up. Wow. Can you imagine? You're devastated over this girl, you're in his shoes, and this woman is so completely self-absorbed that she's clueless that she's hurting him. Or, even worse, she knows how mean she's being, and she's doing it on purpose. Either way, it's pretty bad. I mean, this is horrible. Not a good sign of somebody you want to be in a relationship. She mentioned that she was kind of seeing someone but not seeing them. Honestly, from her description, it seemed like he was using her as friends with benefits. Maybe, or maybe she was using him too. Entirely possible. And again, this shows her immaturity, I think. I know she's in her really early 20s, and it just doesn't seem like she attaches well to other people. Maybe she's just young and wants to go out and have fun, but she should know that the things that she's telling you is hurting you. What was strange to me is that she mentioned how she had been viewing my social media and that she had been showing people photos of me, even to the rebound. She had been talking about me to her friends and people from her classes. Well, that is certainly odd. It would say to me that she's certainly not clearly fully over you. It's very bizarre behavior. Her mother loved me and didn't want her to break up with me. She claimed that she didn't want to be bullied by her mom into staying with me. After that, she tried saying goodbye. I didn't acknowledge her because I was pissed off and just turned around and walked away. The following morning, around 3 a.m., she called me 5 times. I didn't answer because I knew she was out clubbing that night. The texts she sent were like she was asking for the other guy. Hey, Barry, it's Lauren's friend. My name's Ernie. Obviously, I changed all those names. But the point is that she was texting him, and either she was drunk or she was deliberately trying to hurt this guy again. I know her best friend didn't like me too much, as she felt that it took her away from her, more or less. Afterwards, I sent a text saying, I want you romantically, not as a friend. Don't contact me until you change your mind. 9 days later, she contacts me telling her visa situation is sorted out, but ignores my reply. Is this woman playing games? Certainly seems like she could be, right? He says, don't contact me unless you want to work this out romantically. She contacts him about some stupid situation, like I teach, the indirect direct approach. But then she ignores his replies. Very odd behavior. She's not acting like an adult. I don't really know what to do or make of it. I really love this girl. She wasn't just my lover, she was my best friend. She felt that too at one point. Forgot to add that I'm currently in no contact, not starting conversations, only replying. Trying to get my six-pack abs back that I had at the start of the relationship, and working through my attachment style. Your videos are extremely helpful. Thank you. Alright, so I'm glad that you're working on yourself. And that's always the best thing that you can do, is make yourself the priority. Work on personal growth. I mean, at this point I have like close to 500 videos that I try and teach a lot of little different things in each video. Sometimes I teach certain issues over and over again because they really need to get understood. But then there are certain topics that may only come up in one video and not again. So keep that in mind. But you gotta work through your attachment issues here, because it's telling me that you're tolerating and you're desperate, as you call it, you're desperate to get somebody back who's treating you so poorly and so cruel. I mean, the things that she said and did when you met up 5 weeks later were horrible. And it shows real immaturity. And I feel like she might be playing some games here, or toying with you, or she's just cruel. Either way, she's all over the place, and if I'm in this situation, I'm going to sit back and work on myself. I'm not going to reach out to her like you've done, and I'm going to just continue to make personal growth my priority and figuring out what it is that you want. If she really wants to act like an adult, work on herself, and be transparent with you and saying, look, this is where I messed up. These were my mistakes. I want to work through this. I want to, spend time with you again and see where this goes. You can do it, but I would be very careful with a situation like this, because if she does this once, she could do it again. And so you need her to show you that she is going to fight for you in this relationship and work towards it. If she does that, then, you can slowly try and see where this goes, but be very, very careful, and definitely don't be desperate over somebody that's acting like this. Alright? So, if you want to get my help personally, just go to my website, askcraig.net, sign up for the coaching option that works best for you. I do email coaching. I do Skype coaching. If you got to get with me right away, I do offer emergency Skype coaching. Margaret is also available for coaching. She's absolutely amazing. Just click on Margaret on the top of my website. But that's it for this video. I'm Coach Craig Kenneth, and I will talk with you soon.
Hi, I'm Coach Margaret, a relationship coach and a psychotherapist with 35 years experience. Every relationship is different and every breakup is different. Work with me to get professional help on your situation. Go to askcraig.net to sign up for a personal coaching with me.